All right, so Jay-Z's been accused of allegedly raping a 13-year-old girl, with Diddy, by the way, in the year 2000. This development is very scary for some reasons you probably haven't thought of, and I'm going to tell you what those are. I'm DJ Pretty Boy. Welcome to my little man cave. Let's get into some hot takes. So at the time of me making this video, here's what's happened. Obviously, the allegations were made. Jay-Z put out a statement denying all of these allegations, and Jay-Z's lawyer, I believe his name is Alex Shapiro, has written to the judge asking to kind of expedite the process so they can just get this to trial and get it done and dusted, because these things can drag on for some time. And frankly, I think Jay-Z doesn't need this kind of heat on him right now, considering all the different deals he may potentially be mixed up in, I'm assuming. Now, that right there is a good segue into one of the things that's scary about this. One of the obvious things that's scary about this is, let's say he's innocent. Now he has this allegation that's just tarnishing his reputation, even though there's no truth to it. So what that highlights is we're living in this world where it seems the whole truth doesn't matter, especially in the court of public opinion. And the court of public opinion has quite the impact, more so than it really should have. I mean, we've seen some instances now where all it takes is someone to say something bad about you. And even though you go through the process of proving your innocence, depending on, maybe other things that maybe people didn't like about you, it still somehow just tarnishes your reputation anyway. And even during the process of trying to prove your innocence, I mean, in the case of these celebrities or whatnot, or maybe influencers or whatever, public figures, you can still lose fan base. It can still impact, your brand at that time, at that moment in time. Anyway, you can lose deals. Certain business moves can be halted. Sometimes indefinitely, all because of some false accusation. Even scarier is how the public seems to just be developing this insatiable appetite for all of this drama, for all of this negativity. And a lot of it is from people who want to further some agenda of, the celebrity world is so evil and it's devil worshiping and blah, blah, blah. And, religious people use this as an opportunity to push religion. You need to find God and da, da, and they throw God in the mix. And it just gets crazy. I'll tell you a quick story about myself. Now, it does pale in comparison to what Jay-Z's facing, but I think it still illustrates this whole idea of how easily that your reputation can get tainted. Now, the club that I currently DJ at, I've been DJing there for like almost, I think it's going on 3 years now. But let's say within the first year of me DJing there, I became popular over there really fast. And, I got to know all the regulars and blah, blah, blah. And one day I'm there, I'm not DJing, I'm just there to, drink and just be a regular person. And I come into the main club area, and, one of the guys I know, he wears glasses, and I see that he doesn't have his glasses, and he's looking inebriated, and he's propped up against the bar. And I'm like, bro, what's wrong with you? Like, what's happened to you? And where's your glasses at? And he says, somebody knocked them off. So, I'm trying to help him out. So I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like looking around, and I see them on the floor. So I get them for him. And unfortunately, I think someone's already stepped on him or whatever. It's because one of the lenses is broken off. I give homeboy his glasses, and I'm just like, bro, you look mashed up. You like, go home. You want me to call you a cab or like? But he didn't want to leave. He just wanted to rock it out. I said, cool, man, have fun. And I went on to my merry way. Let me just point out, there was someone there who was seemingly with him or knew him or something like that. I didn't know who this character was, but what I did notice is when I put my drink down to help homeboy, this character drank my drink. And I'm thinking, what the? But whatever. I don't want to get into it with drunk people. And more time, the bartenders like me, they just slide me drinks anyway. So it's not even a big deal. I just wanted to make sure homeboy is good. Next time I show up at the club, one of the staff is like, Anyway, how could you do that to homeboy? I don't want to say his name. I want to keep it anonymous. How could you do that to homeboy? And I'm like, what is you talking about? Like, what? Do what? And they're like, how could you break his glasses like that? And I'm like, what? And he happened to be there that night. So I go, I'm like, I need to talk to homeboy. And I caught him in the smoking section. I'm like, bro, what is this? People are telling me that I broke your glasses. Like, he's like, aren't you the one that knocked them off? I was like, what are you on crack? Like, what is your problem? I'm the one that helped you find them. And furthermore, one of your stupid friends drank my drink while I was trying to help you find it. Turns out that friend that drank the drink is the one who, whatever they was doing, they was both drunk, and he probably knocked it off by accident or whatever, but that guy was the culprit. But what makes it worse is while I've confronted him and telling them, what are you talking about? Da 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 da. Some girl goes, and she's a regular too. She goes, yeah, I saw it. In my mind, I'm like, bitch, what the fuck is you talking about? What did you see? Now, the mere fact that she said that, anyone listening to this story would think, well, this is an eyewitness who witnessed me breaking this man's glasses, knocking it off his face, whatever, however I broke it. Just her blurting that out, that's what one would assume. But that's not it at all. Because I asked her, well, what did you see? And thankfully, I'm confident as fuck, by the way, because there's CCTV in the club. There's camera footage to all of this, right? She just started waffling and saying some bullshit. All she did was see me next to him. And she did see me with his glasses, because obviously I picked them up from the floor for him to give them to him. But that's all she saw. She just saw me with the glasses in my hand. And that was enough for her to just run with the fact that, yeah, I broke this shit. They said I broke it, and she saw me with it in my hand. So she just added to the narrative now in such a way that one would believe, like, okay, she saw that shit, because the way she said it, like, I saw it happen. They all apologized to me in the end. And, it bothered me a little bit for a while, because I just thought, I've never done anything to these people. I've never even given them a reason to think that I've never shown them any hostility. They've never seen me be violent. I've never let my New Yorkness flip out on them. I say that because this is England I'm in right now. But still, it was easy for them to spin that narrative. Imagine if I was an aggressive guy. Imagine if I used to talk all like extra, like how, New Yorkers can get. Imagine like I had that already. How quicker they would be to just convict me, so to speak. Now, once again, I know this is a minor story, but the point here is it's very easy for people to accuse you of something very matter-of-factly, minus facts. And Jay-Z's has been next to Diddy a lot. He's been associated with Diddy very publicly. So it becomes easy to just say, well, Diddy's doing all this wild shit, Jay-Z's next to him. It's easy for some woman to come up, and I don't want to just trivialize it as if, because who knows if it's true or not, for someone to just come up and be like, yeah, he did that. And people will think like, well, I mean, he next to Diddy, and this person said he was with Diddy when that happened. So the people who already don't like Jay-Z, or the people who want to see him fail, or the people that have this agenda, they think like, oh, these celebrities are evil and they sold their soul and blah, blah, blah. It's easy for them to just already like, yeah. And just like that, you're fighting for your life. You're fighting for your livelihood. You're fighting for your reputation in the absence of any actual evidence or facts. Now, let's say Jay-Z is guilty. Oh, boy. If he is guilty, then it just shines a light on just how horrible this world is, just how horrific things must be in that upper echelon, that we like to call it, of these rich and powerful people. I don't always want to just say celebrities, so I don't think it's a celebrity thing. I think the bigger group is rich, powerful people, as, what was his name? Harvey Weinstein, I believe, is what showed us, because he wasn't necessarily a celebrity, but he's a rich and powerful person. And I don't want to make this racy, but this really is a factor. This is a black man. This is a black man, and not just any black man. A black man who's become an icon, a black man who's been a role model, who's an example of quote-unquote black excellence. And it is something that is needed. Being a member of the black community myself, I don't know if you could tell. It's a very scary thing because there are so many negative stereotypes and narratives, and black people are so easily villainized in the public eye or on the global stage that if it's an icon, someone who seems to be a quote unquote representative of the black community, when things go bad, it reflects badly on the rest of us, and that's not fair. But that's just how, the position we're at in this world right now. Now it becomes fuel for all the racists and whatnot to further these negative narratives about black people worldwide. And on top of that, it's like, man, who can you trust to look up to? Because Jay-Z is, I want to say is because it's still present tense, he hasn't been found guilty. He's an inspiration. This guy is an inspiration for all young black. Listen, I grew up in New York. I grew up in Southside. And even though I'm not the biggest fan of Jay-Z, I admire the fact that he came from where he came from and became who he became, seemingly without doing any crazy shit like joining the Illuminati or, doing any wild shit, like just pure hard work and business savvy to get where he is, kind of like a 50 Cent. These are people we look at and be like, yo, they made it out the hood. They made it out of the ghetto. They made it out of these tough situations where they were doing bad, which in this sense would be hustling, drug dealing, criminal activity, yes, all right. But they turned that around. They legitimized their financial pursuits. We need things like that in the black community. We need people to look up to. And this is more of maybe a topic for another video, but it would be nice if it was beyond celebrity as well. We need doctors to look up to. We need hotshot lawyers to look up to, politicians that we could look up to, people who are excelling in life that are black, so that it could inspire some of the black youth. But going back to Jay-Z, it tends to be celebrities because celebrities have a lot of influence. They have a lot of visibility and hence have a lot of power, especially if they are in the entertainment field. So I think it's even more damning when you find out like this very public figure that, some of us adore because of their craft, because of, whatever talents and skills that they may have, turns out to be a piece of shit. And it's like, damn, son, that is different than if it was some rich black doctor who turned out to be a piece of shit. I mean, it's still messed up. But then when it's like, oh, man, but we were emotionally invested in you, celebrity guy, and here you are being a piece of shit. Great. That in itself is another video that we shouldn't really put so much stock in celebrities. But that's a topic for another day. Now, another thing, like I haven't seen too many people who are covering this story talk about is this transpired allegedly at an after party for whatever MTV Awards. How is a 13-year-old girl there? How does that happen? How is a 13-year-old girl in the mix somehow? This is another Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards after party. What's happening? What does that say for the state of protection and guidance that the youth have? And this is 20-something years ago. I think it's even worse now, that the state of the youth. Parenting. Where was this 13-year-old's parents? Not to keep it too much on the parents, because sometimes the parents are trying. They're trying to be good parents, and the kids still turn out to be serial killers or or whatever because of external factors. There's a lot of external influences that could send a young person down a very destructive path. That's scary. The moral fabric of society seems to be deteriorating, and the younger generations, whereas is a very interesting divide. You have some of the most social and politically conscious young people, but on the other end, you have some of the most destructive, vile, lost, misguided youth that there seem to have ever existed. All in all, this is scary times, man. I don't know about you, but it's scary times to me. I'm interested to see how this all unfolds and what it ends up meaning for everyone.